If only we had Ahsoka to play. I guess we'll just pick Anakin for no reason in particular. Anyway, let's get into our thoughts. I mean, I don't even know where to begin. We're doing this live now for the people who watch the video. That way we can go based off of what they say too, so it's not me forgetting half the time. Don't know if we'll do this next week, but at least we'll try for this week. Where do I even begin? It was an awesome episode. A lot more Clone Wars than I was thinking, honestly, but man, the Clone Wars scenes look so good. Again, I know this isn't happening, and I don't necessarily, like, I would want it, but I don't really, at the same time, don't. But just imagine a Band of Brothers style Clone Wars. Oh my god, like live action, I think it would be so awesome. Seeing the graphics that good would just get me so excited for that shit. Oh my god. Even if it's not Clone Wars, you just go to like one of those, what do you call it? Wow, he blocked while flying to the air. It would just look so good. Anyway, I don't think it's gonna happen, but what else? Definitely wasn't a boring episode, let's put it that way. I see why Filoni directed it though. Some of the shots where Anakin's like switching between Anakin and Vader, they did such a good job on. The only place I would have changed it was when he knocks her out of the Clone Wars flashback onto the World Between Worlds. When he walked out of the smoke, I thought he was going to be Vader, but they didn't do it there. They waited a second, then they just had him like flash between it. I thought he was going to have that badass Vader entrance, though. He was still an amazing scene, though. But damn, you could see the quality level of Ahsoka is just so much further and like better than any of the other shows we've gotten so far. Even Mando in this particular season was just shit compared to Ahsoka right now. I have a feeling next episode it will be, I don't even want to call it boring, but in terms of Ahsoka, it will probably be a little less action-packed, but we're still going to get some amazing shit in it, I would imagine. But then you're going into the final 2 episodes, which usually are always dope, so it's like, it looks like this whole season's going to be, for the most part, really fucking exciting. Which I think is fucking funny, because you had those whiny little cunts after the first 2 episodes. This is so boring, bruh. This is just about the quest. Like, there's plenty of shit to hate in Star Wars, but that was not. You're looking for shit to get mad about at that point. And luckily, they were wrong, and it turned into this. Because man, we needed Ahsoka to be good, man. If this show sucked, I don't know, man. I don't know what we would be doing. Like, this wouldn't really be getting that excited for anything Star Wars right now, to be honest. Especially since we know they're making Thrawn the big bad villain. So, like, if that failed, like, what then? Like, we look up to Rey again? Like, no, I'm alright, I'll pass on that. So, you could see why they're like, you know what, Filoni, just make some badass shit, dude. Now, our only hope going forward, we're kind of jumping the gun here a little bit, but I think it's pretty clear the Ahsoka, or at least Season 1, is going to be absolutely amazing. Now we just gotta hope after the success of this season, the higher ups don't get involved and start putting their 2 cents. That's our big concern moving forward. I think already we could tell Ahsoka, unless they completely butcher the last 3 episodes, which I don't think they will. I mean, it's gonna be a pretty big show for Star Wars. Well done as well. Let's hope. Let's not jump the gun. I do have the power of jinxing things, but we just gotta hope going forward Disney doesn't start, well, you know what we need to do? Like, why don't you shut the fuck up? How about that? That's what you need to do. Clearly Filoni can do his job, just you gotta sit back and let him do that, but what else? I like the young Ahsoka. I don't get emotional when I watch it. I guess I was as close to getting emotional when they had the Clone Wars flashback stuff, but I don't know, I don't get emotional at moments really, so I'm not the type to really come for that, but that was probably the closest I've had for like an emotional moment. And what was the other when Luke returned in Mando Season 2? That didn't get me emotional. It was an amazing scene. I loved it, but it wasn't like I didn't get the emotional vibe I did. Maybe it's because I didn't grow up in Luke's era. You know, I wasn't out when the shows first came out. I don't know. We're just spitballing here. Anyway. That was a good point. They could have had a Maul flashback, or yeah, I guess that's a flashback. Right there, since she was fighting the what do they call it? Death Watch. No, I didn't even think of that until you mentioned it. Yeah, that would have been the moment to be looking for, because he was there. I liked his when Anakin was like, I don't remember this one. Like, yeah, you were going full retard at the temple at that point, bro. Like, you kind of hoping Ahsoka would have started talking some shit, you know, like a little like subtle shit talk there, but. I don't know. I'm still, you know, the World Between Worlds, I'm not really the biggest fan of, but at least it's gonna bring, hopefully, some interesting stuff, you know. Somebody was talking about it in the comments the other day, like, I don't know how to put it, but, like, I'm not really a fan of multiverse things or this particular type of stuff. It's going well so far in Ahsoka, but that's gonna be an area, what is going on with the map here? Am I having a seizure, or is that the game? I think it's the game. That's going to be an area to watch going forward with Star Wars. They might start fucking shit up down the road. Maybe not this show, but maybe down the road they're going to start, let's just do this now. It might get bad going forward, but let's hope not. We're gonna look at the bright side. Yeah, see, it's not just Kathleen Kennedy. I know everybody loves throwing that bitch under the bus. I can't stand her either, but it's more than just her. We can't just always blame her. Everybody watches too many of those fucking YouTubers. Kathleen's getting fired! Oh, no, she's not. She's still here. They've been saying that for years now. Just constantly throw her specifically under the bus when it's more than just her. She's a dumb bitch. Don't like her, but yeah, it's also at the same time not just her. Yeah, they had Rex in there too. That's a good point. They had Rex. No Maul though, but they did have Rex. His voice wasn't the same. You know, honestly, I'm gonna probably get in trouble for this. I kind of wish they had the Rex voice actor voice Rex for that scene, because it sounded like it was actually Tamura Morrison, and obviously he didn't voice him. But I mean, that's just the Clone Wars fanboy in me coming out. But realistically, if they're gonna have Rex in live action, they probably do want to go with Tamura Morrison's voice. It would make more sense. I understand, but you know, from a fanboy standpoint, I kind of wish it was his actual Clone Wars voice. But either way, I get why they didn't. Makes sense. Not a complaint, just an observation.
Enemy numbers still need to be reduced by half.
Now, like, what's gonna happen next episode, man? Like, you know, I was getting worried. I remember somebody a couple visits ago was like, somebody's gonna ride those space whales before it's all said and done. And I think you meant like a horse, like to actually literally ride them. And I was like, please don't actually ride them. But at least this way makes a little more sense. But I'm like, you're pretty close. You're spot on. Like, it makes sense sort of the story. They would follow him. That is what the old Jedi used to do. So makes sense. But like, are we gonna? I'm assuming we're gonna see Thrawn next episode. That would be my guess. I don't think it would go too long, especially since they've elapsed time now. I don't. What's one rotation? Does that count as 1 week? I don't know. Wouldn't a rotation be different on planets? I don't know. On different planets. So either way, they elapse time. So that would mean Morgan has been in this other galaxy for a little bit and already have done that. Her job finding him, maybe, or at least putting in work towards that. So we could already be seeing him getting ready to come out, or they'll show them finding him that particular episode. So I think next episode's gonna be pretty cool. Now it's gonna be Thrawn's turn to come back. My only worry, which I don't think will happen, is that this show ends, or this season ends with Thrawn still in the other galaxy. I want him to come back already, but yeah, you know. It could end on them finally coming back to this galaxy and kind of like that sense of impending doom, like, oh my god, he's here, you know, that type of shit. Like, Ahsoka will try to stop it and do whatever. She'll probably end up defeating Balin, because, I mean, for their sake, since the actor died, it's probably better if they had shot it where he actually did die. So for their sake, we'll see if that happens, but... Oh, Jason will become a Jedi at some point. I don't know how much they'll go into it, though, but... I feel like they wrote himself into a corner, though, with the sequels, where they were like, oh yeah, Luke's Jedi Order got fucked up, and now they have to, like, well, shit, we kind of don't want to just kill everyone off. Especially since that story we chose to write instead of it was horrible. So you might be seeing a lot of them try to survive somehow, or now they're going into Rey's new Jedi Order, which does not excite me in the slightest bit, I'll be honest. I'll watch it, but I'm not going into it as of now. I'm not very excited. So you might see them try to squeeze these characters through somehow. I don't know. But it's going to start not making sense if you keep doing that. Like, I get Grogu surviving. I would probably just write it off. He's off with Mando or someone else doing Mando things at that time. That's why he didn't get killed. But I get letting some of them slip through the cracks, because Grogu's going to be, again, advance the story hundreds of years into the future when they're done with this Thrawn stuff, I would imagine. But Jason, I don't see being that integral of a character, so maybe he'll hang out here and then we find out he died in Luke's temple, or I don't know, we'll find out. I didn't see him turning yellow, but I haven't watched it back or anything, so I don't know. They could. I could have just missed it. But I noticed a lot of people weren't talking about it, but on the last episode, Ahsoka kind of, at least I thought she kind of channeled the dark side a little bit when she thought Sabine was dead. When she grabbed Shin, I got the vibe like she was kind of going more down that route with that move real quick. But I don't know. So and we didn't choose a hero, so the game glitches because this game is fucking amazing as usual. It literally is falling apart before our eyes. We can't even not select. We used to never select heroes so we could randomly get it, and now every time I don't select, it glitches. The game is literally falling apart before our eyes. That used to not happen. I'm pretty sure it was Tamurison as Rex. It didn't sound like the Clone Wars guy. Whatever his name is. I'm slipping my mind at the moment. It could. It would make sense for her to turn, because yeah, that was the or I don't want to say turn, but turn in the scene we're talking about with her eyes in that world. Like I could see why they would do that, because that was what the message they were going for. So that very well could have happened, and I just missed it. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me at all. It's kind of a good way to show her, like, this shit could happen, so make sure you make the right decisions and don't fuck up like I did. He didn't say that really, but you can kind of. You don't need him to, It kind of like. What do you call it? I thought I was. Still sick, man. I was coughing all morning today. I don't know what's going on. Either die or go away, cough, man. You're annoying me. Speaking of Ray. There you go. Hopefully Dave does that to Ray. I'm talking about Filoni. I know the guy's name was Dave, but I was talking about Filoni, actually. Now see that I hope you're wrong, because if that is what they're gonna do, oh my god, that does not excite me in the slightest bit. I'm not a fan of multiverse or none of this shit in movies like this. So if they do that, like, again, it's not even like, that's not really even multiverse, I guess you could say. Yeah, that's not. I kind of misread that. That's not really multiverse. It's just going to a different galaxy. So I just don't see that not happening, though. I mean. Wait, did I just press it here? Is that it? You could make the case. I guess let's try to see how we could fit that into the story where they never come back to the current Star Wars galaxy. They stay in this new one. I guess Thrawn could be building up his fleet there, and the New Republic would find a way to go there. But I'm gonna be honest, I'm not really gonna like the whole idea of a whole fucking New Republic fleet just following whales. I kind of want to move away from the whales now. It makes sense for Ahsoka, and I kind of don't want that to happen. Have them come back. And just have another good old Star Wars fight in our galaxy, but I don't know. Who knows? You like Hera's jacket? I like her pants. Really a fan of the pants. Ray, I like your pants too, in fairness. You're not Hera.
The pacifists are crushing the competition.
I mean, to be honest, Danny, I kind of feel like he already is, like, the go-to guy. But, again, titles don't really matter if the higher-ups are then going to come in and do their whole, well, you know what, like, the Grogu incident. I've already explained it 1,000 times. Quick summary, it's very obvious to me he was not supposed to be in Book of Boba and Mando Season 3 in the way he was shown. He was supposed to be with Luke that time. But they wanted to bring him back, and that's a higher-up decision. So even if he's fully in charge, if there's still going to be a higher-up that comes in and, well, now, look here, we need to do this, like, it's not going to excite me. Like, if they ultimately raise him to, I don't know what level you would want, where he is just, he gets final say in everything. Like, the higher-ups can put their 2 cents, but he gets to be, like, I don't know what, the actual boss, I guess, I don't know. I don't think that's gonna happen, but.
Evil's
And again, to me, it's obvious they backed off for this show. They're letting him do his thing, and it's coming out awesome. But going forward is where I'm nervous, where it's gonna be like, well, how about we get Grogu into the story? No, it's not. And Grogu shouldn't be in this particular story just yet. I'm sure they'll have a crossover and come over, but I mean, like, making him a focal point. I don't think it should be in this series right now. You'll probably see him going forward. Maybe not this season, but somewhere down the Ahsoka line. But like, I don't mind him coming over, but I don't think it makes sense for him to be in the huge focal point for this. Like, this is Ahsoka's story. Grogu's gonna have his time. He will have his time. But if they start like, no, we want him in here and we want him doing this, we want him to kill someone, they won't do that. But it's an example of where I'm like, this just doesn't make sense. Don't do that. Those are the higher up moves where I wish Filoni could literally just tell him to go suck a big fat fucking cock. But you can't do that nowadays because that you can't use that as an insult because that would offend somebody. That's where you would also tell them, why don't you just fucking kill yourself then? How about that? You don't like that either. Just be quiet. You know, like just tell these guys to shut the fuck up, dude. That's what I hope. Whatever rank they give that to Filoni. Let's put it that way. Whatever rank you can get at where you can tell them whatever the fuck you want and not get in trouble. That's the rank we need Filoni to get to, I think. Because to me, he's proven if you leave him alone, he can do a fantastic job. But when you start putting your 2 cents in there, it's not a whole lot you can really do to the, you know. You could write an amazing book, but if they burn it and then just have you have to put something in there like that they wrote, it's not good. Yeah, Book of Boba was an embarrassment, and it shouldn't have been. I was so excited for that. Mando Season 3 was absolute dog shit compared to the first 2 seasons, and Ahsoka already has, this season of Ahsoka has already shit all over Mando Season 3. It's not even close, not even similar, not even close to the same level. Like, that is just, again, I don't feel like it should have been, but that's just disappointing, honestly. So hopefully seeing the success here will hopefully inspire the higher-ups to do a better job and not put their 2 cents in absolutely everywhere. Only time will tell. We said that after the sequels, and you can see where they kind of did loosen up a little bit. And then they couldn't resist when there was success, you know? Like, we were like, oh man, the sequels suck. Everybody down on Star Wars. All right, let's see The Mandalorian. Let's see if it's good. They let them do their thing, and it was good. And then when they intervened after Season 2, guess what season we don't like? Mando Season 3. It has their fucking fingerprints all over it. And it's just like, dude, just learn your lessons. Stay the fuck out of this, and he will make you money. It's like, dude, just calm the fuck down.
Will you fight on?
Anyway, we're just running in circles looking for bad guys. Bro, I choose you. Yeah, I'm so good. We should emote too.
Nice guys aren't finishing last this time.
Hey, Bubba, we were just talking about you, Bubba. Your show is absolute shit, and boy, I wish it wasn't. I was so excited for that. Because you know, as much as I'm enjoying Ahsoka and all these different Force things, I really, really enjoy the dark, grimy underworld side of Star Wars. With the bounty hunters and the smuggling. Book of Boba could have been in that. Even if he's still a good guy going away from that, they're in that world. It would be the perfect time to capitalize on that. And they just fucked up so bad. And again, every time we say this, you didn't like Luke? And no, the scenes were amazing with Luke. They shouldn't have been in Book of Boba. You had rewrites, and then it fucked up the whole flow of that show. Boba didn't have enough time in his own show. It just... The execution was bad, but the particular scenes with Luke training Grogu were absolutely amazing. Those should have been in Season 3 of Mando. Anyway, we'll end the video there, I guess. We've been talking for a while now.